what is going on in Philly exactly right now? Because by now, I believe that James Harden would have been off the team or causing problems, and neither of those things is happening. I follow the Sixers pretty closely just because Joel Embiid is one of my favorite players. And I even follow them on Instagram, right? And if you look at the clips and everything, James Harden seems to be just happy, like as happy as when he first showed up to camp, which is very weird because I'm like, should I take the team seriously or should I just assume that this roster will be totally different, right? And I'm not the only one feeling like this. It's a lot of people asking that question, rightfully so. So Tyrese Maxey was a guest on the JJ Redick podcast, and he actually opened up about the James Harden situation pretty candidly, I'd rather say. So we're gonna take a listen to what Tyrese Maxey had to say about James Harden, and then we're gonna come back and react. But before I do so, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
First of all, I'm gonna give a shout out to Jay because he didn't make it weird at all. You know, he came in and he was very like, it's not what I was expecting. I'm just gonna be honest, not what I was expecting. He was very like receptive. He worked hard. He did all the drills. He was talking to even like young guys that he didn't know. Think about James Harden, what MVP, scoring champ, 2-time assist leader. Like he's sitting there talking to guys like Ricky Council, like, hey, when you're in help, you should do this. Like I'm like, it's not what I was picturing. You know what I'm saying? And then so I can give a shout out to him first.
This is not. Hold on a second. No, I want to let you finish your thought, but I want to just point out, and I love Ben, but of course it wasn't what you were picturing because of what happened when Ben showed up for training camp practice.
I love Ben too. It's like one of my guys.
Ben's my guy, but of course it wasn't what you were picturing.
Listen. It's sad to say this, but like this is normal for me.
Alright, so you heard Tyrese, and the first thing I wanted to do is piggyback off what he said about James Harden's professionalism. Shout out to James Harden, and I actually owe him an apology because I was really expecting him to put on the fat suit, cause issues, not show up, post with Lil Baby, all the stuff that he's done in the past when he was in Houston, maybe even beef with Joel Embiid, something to really show that he wants out, that he means business. And this goes to show you that he's doing a great job at compartmentalizing. Man, that word is hard for me to say, but y'all get the point, right? Because he's beefing with Daryl Morey and not with the players. So shout out to him for still being a professional and not making it weird at all. Now, what does that actually mean? Because he says that he intends to play, but the relationship cannot be repaired with Daryl Morey, and that he actually wanted to retire a Sixer, but the front office just had different plans for him, and that it's a business at the end of the day. He has to make the best decision for himself, and that it is what it is. These are the words that he just had like 5 hours ago, some stuff like that. So this situation is really weird because I really see both sides. Let's start with James Harden's side. If anyone calls me money, I would be mad. But if you cost me millions of dollars, obviously ain't no coming back from this. I don't care what you did for me in the past. You just cost me, my business, my family, the craft that I do every day, millions of dollars. You gave me your word. You said you would pay me. You said, take a pay cut. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. The team will be better. And then I'm going to pay you when it's your turn. Took my pay cut. I believe it was something like 10 millions. But I don't care how much money James Harden already has. 10 million is still 10 mil. You could have done something with that money. So I feel James Harden on that, right? Then also, if you look at his role with the team, Doc Rivers told him to take a backseat to Joel Embiid, rightfully so. I don't think he had a problem with that. But he fit into his role. He did what he was asked to do. If you look just at his stats, he's averaged 21 points, 10 plus assists, which was leading the league, plus 6 rebounds, right? Plus a couple of steals and everything. So if you look at just the numbers, these numbers scream, pay me. I'm still doing my job. Then when it comes to actually winning, we have the MVP, so it's on him to take us to the promised land. I'm talking if I'm James Harden, this is probably all I'm thinking, right? Pay me. However, if I'm Daryl Morey, I'm looking at it like, yo, damn the numbers, yo. 21, 10, and 6, that looks great, but did we win the first seed? No, we didn't. Did we get past the second round? No, we didn't. Did you make an All-Star team? No, you didn't. All-NBA team? No, you didn't. All defense? No, you didn't. You damn sure didn't. Did you really show up when it matters in the playoff? You had 2 great games against the Celtics. You had 1 great game against the Nets. Other than that, you weren't good on offense, and obviously you weren't on defense. If I'm going to pay you long term, do I believe that at age 34, you are aging good? And so it's probably no, right? Because if you look at James Harden and if you look at what happened, I believe that the mental hurdle that he had before in big games, he's kind of past that now just because he knows that he's not the number one guy. But now it's his body that's failing him. Here's my point. Back in the days, James Harden would go in game 6 or game 7 and go from like 30 shots a game to like 11 shots and have 5 points or some bullshit like that with the turnovers and the bad defense. But now he's shooting. The only problem is that now against a team that really game plans for him, that knows not to give him the left, that can help and everything, he cannot get to the rim as much as he once would. And Joel Embiid is not a live threat. And these were his 2 biggest weapons going to the rim. And then, of course, he had the handle. He had the shifting gears that he's not shifting as quickly as he used to do. And obviously the step back. But James Harden has never been a very, very, very efficient shooter like that. Never. Like, he would do damage from the 3. But the damage that he would make was mostly getting to the free throw line and these layups, or even finishing on top of you. He could do that. And he would have like 2 or 3 step backs that he would make for a game, but he was never a 40% shooter. Now, if you look at the games when he actually performed, he just made some threes. He just made a lot of threes. He caught fire in 2 games, but that's not sustainable for him. Not at all. But when it came to the games when he didn't make threes, he looked awful against the Celtics. Jaylen Brown was just taking his soul out there. And Daryl Morey saw it and he was like, man, he's 34 right now. Do I think that I got to think for my team also? Do I want James Harden to make like 50 or 60 million? I don't know how much he was eligible for, but you know these new deals, right? At age 37? Hell nah. If I give that deal to James Harden, I might get fired. Or when James Harden really gets old, Joel Embiid will ask for a trade. And now I'm stuck with literally the worst contract in the NBA. I cannot do that. So I really see both sides. So it's kind of weird, you know. So I don't really want to crucify any side because both sides are doing what's best for them. And both sides are remaining professional. Daryl Morey, by not doing none of the bullshit that, I don't know, the GM for the Nets last year did by going public against his players and just stirring drama on Twitter. Didn't do none of that. And James Harden is at training camp right now. So do I believe James Harden will actually stay? I do think so. I think that he's going to do a whole season on the Sixers. Here's why. He has only 1 year left on this contract. So if I'm any team out there, and it looks like the interest right now is just the Clippers, why am I trading away an all-star caliber player or some draft capital or quality young pieces for just 1 year of James Harden, while I could just sit there and wait and get him for free anyway the year after? And add him on top of Paul George, add him on top of Kawhi and everything. Why am I doing that? That makes no sense. I'm just not. Plus, if I'm the Sixers, I'm not forced to trade him just thanks to the new CBA rules that says that if James Harden comes out and doesn't show up, doesn't play, sits out, he cannot become a free agent the year after that. He will still, quote unquote, owe us another year. And I love that rule for these type of situations, especially when you have a guy with just 1 year on his contract. I love it because now you won't see no Ben Simmons situation saying that, oh, my back is hurting. Whether it was hurting or not, we'll never know. And then he doesn't play. And then the Sixers are still paying a guy $30 million a year for no production whatsoever. At least this won't happen. So keeping these 2 things in mind, I do not believe James Harden gets traded. Plus, it's actually a win-win for the Sixers Because if James Harden really wants to be traded that bad, he still needs to go out there and play hard to showcase that he can be the missing piece that you add mid-season and that gets you over the hump to the Clippers. So everyone wins in that scenario. Now, when it comes to the Sixers, once James Harden leaves the team next year, it's not that he's that amazing at this point, but you need a replacement. Or Tyrese Maxey needs to really become that guy. And will he do that in just a year? And when I mean that guy, he has to be a number 2 that compares to like a Damian Lillard. You know, like that type of guys. Because at the top, you have Joel Embiid and Giannis who are supposed to match. But I still give the advantage to Giannis in that matchup, right? So you have to be able to overcompensate for Joel Embiid not being the best player in the East. So, yeah, man, that's just a lot for the Sixers. I don't know if they end up winning a championship with that roster. Anyways, we can close the video right here. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, get in that comment section and give me your thoughts, man. Appreciate you guys for checking me out. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.